in Postman, when we test our API endpoint, we get the list of the products in the database, as you can see here. Currently, there are 4 products in the database. So now we have implemented middleware for authentication. Let's check the endpoint. Now, when we test endpoint, we see this error not authenticated. So we need to be logged in and then we run this route. So we need to be logged in. Just look here, login, body or JSON. We need an email, which is admin.admin@gmail.com. And we also need a password, which is also the same thing. Okay. Now we can log in. Okay. Oh, sorry. It is post by post. Yeah. Great. Now we have a token, the user, a token type bearer. Okay. Now we can check our product. So copy this access token. Sorry. Okay. Come here, add it in authorization. JWT one of here, and then sorry. Come here, copy, come here and paste it. Okay. Now we can retry. Great. As you can see, we got a list of products in our database. Now we need to verify CORS config in our application. As you can see in config folder, we don't have CORS file. So we need to publish CORS configuration. To publish it, we need to run stop server for the moment. We need to run the command click artisan config publish CORS. Now CORS configuration file is configured. There is another command like php artisan vendor publish tag CORS. If the first one does not work. Okay. Now open the CORS file. In config folder, now we have CORS file. Open it. Now we need to change some parameters. CORS means cross-origin resource sharing. So it protects your endpoint from accessing by different IP address or another domain name. So in our case, we allow accessing our endpoint from anywhere, so of any origin. If we're in case of API, REST API for a mobile application, we can allow that our endpoint will be accessed from anywhere, from any IP address. But if it is a REST API for a web front-end application, we already know the domain name, so our endpoint will only be accessible for only this domain name. Allow methods. Here it is all method get, post, batch, puts, and so on and so forth. But so we can allow all methods. Now for allow origin. For origin, instead of allowing all origin, you can only allow the domain name of your front-end application. So for allow origin, you can put HTTP if we're in local hosts, then 3000 for a front-end application. So Here is for frontends, local. For online, HTTPS, and then my custom domain.com. So here is frontend production app. But if you are in case of mobile application, just leave it with star, so for all origin. So you can leave it for web application, frontend local web app, or frontend production web. In my case, it is for a mobile application, so I will leave it for all origin. Allow header. Also, you can specify the header which is allowed. For example, for headers, we can allow for content type, request with, authorization, accept, or origin. In my case, I will leave it for all headers. Export headers, we can only use for authorization. Next age, we can change it for 1 hour, 2 hours, 24 hours, as whatever you want. Support credential, if you put it with true, that means that all routes will be followed by transaction. It's not our case here because routes for login or register are not protected with with credential. Activate your CORS config. Just come here, come in Bootstrap folder, then PHP, and here in middleware, you can add a new middleware, and it will be middleware API repaint is handle CORS. And then from this moment, the CORS config will be activated for your application. So now it's done. Let's run our web application. So we can now finally clean all things. PHP artisan config clear. PHP artisan cache clear. PHP artisan routes clear. And finally, no, not finally, PHP artisan view clear. And finally, PHP artisan optimize clear. And now we can run sorry, so we have done a refresh out here. We check it here. So it is to refresh our token. So in case we want to use it, just call it with post request. So come here, copy this, open new tab, API refresh with post, and add the other token, the token we're using. It needed to before refreshing. I think it's already there, but let's pass it. Okay, then cut this out. And as you can see, token refreshed successfully. Now we got a new token, which is slightly different from the first one. So if you copy this token, copy, just for this, paste it here. And if you copy the first token also and paste it here, you can see that the headers the header of the two token are the same, but the payload part is not the same. As you can see, the payload part is not the same, and also the signature part is not the same. So that means that our token is well refreshed. Now we can delete those line. Great. So everything works in our REST API endpoint for a refreshed token.